There we go. There we go, I think. Okay, so I am live on YouTube, I think. I'm going to check because I've never done it before. So let's just have a look see. Yeah, it says I'm live. I don't know. I don't know. I've never done it before. So we will see what happens. We will see what happens. Okay. So this jewelry box, this is what I've got so far on this jewelry box. And as I was doing it, I thought, you know, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was going to do some floral stuff, but then I really liked the look of her, and I thought she kind of looked like a retro-y Alice in Wonderland. So I have the Queen of Hearts here, and thought that I would put her on the other side of this. So if you're hopping on, let me know. I want to know where you're from, where you're watching from, and what you're doing tonight. As I start this. So let's see, there's another part that goes on the inside here. I'll switch these cameras here in a second. What did I do with it? I just had it. It's sitting on top of it. Okay. So, actually, I think you can probably see it a little bit better now too. Let's make that one the big one. There we go. There we go. Okay, so this piece right here goes inside there as well. I just haven't painted it yet, but I was thinking that I would do something like this with this Alice and the rabbit, and just kind of have them hanging out in there. And I feel like with something like this, you can go big whenever you're doing anything Alice in Wonderland, in my opinion. So as you hop on, let me know if you can't hear me, or anything like that. I would like to know. Okay, I thought I would try and put it in the group, but maybe it's already in there. So yeah, let me know as you hop on. I think that the first thing that we'll do is put the Red Queen on. We'll put the Red Queen on so that she could be drying. We're going to put her back over here. Oh, isn't she awesome? She's so freaking cool. So I'm going to cut her out a little bit. And then I also have some Harlequin stuff. A couple of different Harlequin stencils that I want to use. So I am going to point this down a little bit because, so I have these molds. I have some mushrooms and a little bit like a tea party thing. So there's all kinds of stuff that we can add to this. I'm gonna go ahead and cut her out. Oh, I love her so much. I think that this is by Paper Studios, which is the same company that the Vintage Bird Junk Journal that I just did. Same company made those papers. And I am gonna fussy cut this. And actually, they just came out with a whole bunch like the rabbit and Alice in this style. And I hope that Decoupage Queen gets those too. Because and the Mad Hatter too in this style. The original, like the ones that this one came out with, I didn't feel like they really matched. They weren't the same style. They were very Alice and the rabbit and the Hatter are very cutesy. Not at all like this. I'll have to get one out to show you guys. But now that there is a new release, I'm excited. I really want to do an Alice in Wonderland junk journal. And let me tell you, over the last year or so, I have really been collecting the stuff. So right now I'm going to kind of, because her hair is kind of going every witchy way here, I want to really get the feel of that. I mean, I can probably go back in and paint it. Color should be pretty easy to match, but so I'm not gonna, I'm definitely not gonna try and fussy cut those hair strands. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that there was sound, because there's been a time or two where I have I've been mute for a while before I realized it. I really think that fussy cutting like this is relaxing. I actually don't mind doing it. And watching the kind of, the form kind of take place. It kind of gives the subject a little bit of like a new dimension, kind of even. I'm not going to do the hollows of her crown either. I think that when it's pretty detailed and delicate like this, you can kind of leave that little bit of a halo, as long as it's around the same size all the way around. And it will still look still definitely will look fussy cut. And the background of my piece is very similar, so Earlier, I posted the Jefferson Airplane White Rabbit song, and it's been in my head all day long now. I'm not going to sing, though. I'm not going to sing for you. Let's get this off the bottom here. Oh, isn't she amazing? I really love her hands. But I don't think they're going to make it onto the piece because her crown might just be a little bit more important. All right, let's see. Whoa! Oh my gosh, she's amazing. Maybe I'll try and go over that hump. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen, right? Okay, I'm going to point you back up there just enough. See if I get, I want, because of the heart here, I want that crown there. And then I would have to go around there. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Pick this up a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay. You can kind of see the other camera. Hey, Callie. Hey, girl. Thanks for hopping on. Look. I think one time you told me that you weren't a fan of this print. But we're going to put some hair on her. And I embellished the face and everything because it was just this kind of sepia color. But I'm almost out of my decoupage, my Pen Dart decoupage glue. I might have to use something else. You know, we talked about that one other time. I've never watched it either. I just love the whole, I don't know, what is it, motif, I guess? I'm trying to decide what I should sacrifice here. I think I'm going to have to sacrifice the very tippy top. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it. That way I will know exactly where. Well, no, I'm just going to crease it. Okay, let's go for it. And the jewelry box itself is painted with DIY paint, so you're going to see it really change color here and deepen. You likey? Kind of think that she's going to go a little bit to that side there. Get her anchored on there. Oh my goodness. I knew as soon as I went live, as soon as I came in here, that stupid cat was going to be ready to go outside. She's good and anchored there now. This tiny little brush I'm using ain't gonna cut it. Ain't gonna cut it. I'll go with this one. I have plenty of brushes the right size. I like to use like a cheaper brush because it's going to be setting in water after this, and I don't like to do that with my more expensive brushes. Which reminds me, I need to get that one in the water. So, what are you doing? Is everybody like, we here in Kansas have been having a lot of storms. My son actually, his house was in a tornado last night. Was it last night? It may have been the night before last. And I think he lost a couple trees. His roof was damaged, but aside from that, I guess it really wasn't too bad. At one point, I think his boat, it didn't have any damage, but I guess it was down the street. It was still on the trailer. It was still on the trailer at least. But it seems like there's storms all across the country, really. It's not just the Midwest anymore like it used to be. I'm going to have to take a knife and cut that. Where the door is. So part of her little puff sleeves are going to be on the door. And then right here is where we will decide whether or not to try whether or not to try and go over this. I mean, I think I am. I think I am. I feel like the worst that could happen is that I have to kind of sand it or something. So let's just do it. I will stop it at the end of this right here though, because otherwise it will look weird having it just, well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll get to that point and then we'll see. Because that's the thing about decoupage. I feel like it really kind of tells you, definitely do it. It kind of tells you as you're going, like I will have to make a cut here and a cut here. I can tell. But her hands are so awesome. And so you got the Red Queen here, and then we've got Alice here. We've got to draw her on some hair, and she doesn't have a dress, but I really feel like, and she's a little bit bigger, but I really feel like we could do a little bit of a blue and like maybe a Peter Pan collar or something. I don't know. You could get really weird. Like you could get really weird with Alice in Wonderland. You could give her a normal sized body and this big head just because of the whole big and small thing, you know. And it would probably, I mean, in my mind it would work, but you know, sometimes sometimes that gets me in trouble. Oh my gosh. That spoiled cat. I can't see what I'm doing here, so hopefully. Yeah. We kind of lost her hands, but that's okay. Now this part I can go ahead and take on around her hair. I can. That face is actually a decoupage paper, and this is the rest of it. It has it's a very neutral, oh gosh. I mean, if you want to see, I can find it. I know it's in my stack, and I have like 7 of them, and I'm pretty sure that it is a retired paper, and I bought what they had left because that is one of my favorite things to do, is to just kind of you know, take a face and change it up or embellish it or do something with it. And I really thought that I would make it like a floral. Like I thought that I would either cover her eyes with flowers or her mouth with flowers and just kind of make it, you know, be something like that. But after I got her on there, I was like, that is Alice. That is Alice. Okay, Queen. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and go over the top on this part. Yes, yes. Oh, stop it. You can. I mean, it is definitely one of my favorite things to do. If you are looking at decoupage papers on my website, there is a if you say that you want to get, I think it's about a 30-minute video on how to enhance decoupage papers in that way and do that. There's a whole process. Okay, calm down. I'm starting to overwork the paper. That's never any good. Don't want to do that. I'm going to make a cut right there. lavender gray. Can you guys still see? Yeah. So I don't think you were on here when I showed these little things. Like this is like a little tea set. And once this is dry, I can never keep these things clean. You know, I always get the decoupage medium on them and then they just get hard. They get all hard and crunchy. So I've got an Alice. Let me get her in here. So I'm thinking about kind of having her hang out here and maybe the rabbit hang out right here so that they're kind of 3D, you know? That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking about just painting them in the same sepia, not like trying to make them, more like it's the shadow of them. I've got the watch and just a couple of kind of plants. So yeah, a couple of mushrooms. I thought about doing, because I have some handles. I don't know. You know how it goes. We're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see. So let's cut this right here. And I am going to, I'm also going to make a cut right there. And I am going to try and fold it up. Like I want it to go that way, not that way. So part of it will have to kind of come out. Like I say, worst case scenario, I will just fill in with paint. We're figuring out as we go, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and lay that down. It's obviously not going to be perfect there. But I know that when it's all said and done, it will be okay. Let's see. It's wet. So, hey, I'm going to just fold that up. Hidden talents. Oh. Oh. I I didn't know that you wanted my journal, no, but yeah, I tend to um well, you know, it's hard as a you guys are creative. It's hard to um it's hard to stick to one thing, you know. I started out as a furniture painter and but you know, Callie, you met me as a paper crafter. So, you know, I mean, I'm just going to cut this guy off. And I am actually saving those pieces with the colors. I doubt if I do anything with them, but, and I like to paint on canvas. I mean, you know, I like to do all of it. I like to do all of it. But I really appreciate that, Callie. Thank you. It's very kind. And yeah, I mean, you know, one thing that I really want to do too is, and I've painted my jeans before, but everything. Have you guys noticed how just I don't want to say upcycled, recycled fashion is so huge right now. As well, it should be. I mean, I mean, there's all kinds of stats about the amount of clothing in landfills and stuff. But I always think that looks like so much fun. Okay, why are you looking weird over there? Stop that. I need to let this dry a little bit. I mean, we've got these flaps hanging out right here. Yes, yeah. Yeah, Callie, that's right. Yep. So yeah, mixed media in there too. I think that um even with my furniture, obviously, even my furniture is mixed media though, really. I can't just paint a piece of furniture. I'm gonna hit this with the dryer real quick just because it's so wet and there's a couple of places on it that just look strange, so I want to make sure that we don't have to do surgery. Give her a little bit of a head start. My decoupage glue is really thick, so oh my gosh, isn't she freaking amazing? Ah! Okay, I can tell that she's gonna be okay. So let's do let me get that in some water. I do need to paint that, but that's boring. You guys don't want to see that, right? Oh my gosh, can you hear my cat? Can you hear him? Let's get a pencil and see. I'm thinking, okay, and another thing, I might white out her eyes because I kind of want her looking back, like she's looking over her shoulder, like maybe she's afraid of the queen, you know? And so if we have her hair all going this way, then it'll kind of be like she's running and looking back. So that's what I have in my head. So I'm going to. And then, of course, I won't do it with the pencil, but she'll have some of it coming across her face. So, yeah, I'm going to have to white her eyeballs out. like I said, I wasn't sure. I don't know if you guys can tell, but her eyes are green. And I think Alice has blue eyes usually, so I'll have to change that anyway. But yeah, we are just gonna cover that up. She's gonna look blind and weird here for a little bit, but we'll get it. I didn't think that brush would be too big, but it is actually. Get this little bitty guy in here. Yeah, she looks kind of weird right now, doesn't she? Oh, bugs. Oh, Callie, you're so nice. You're like my hype girl for real. You are good for me. I appreciate it so much because I was just telling Amanda earlier today that I mean, just like everybody, I fight that imposter syndrome too. There we go. Now she's looking a little like an alien. The color that I use for blonde a lot is the color that's on the background. So, oh, sorry, I'm going to have to get up and look at my paint colors. I thought I had everything over here. Oh, yeah, we're going to do this color. Maybe some of this. And some of this. I'm just going to start out with the lightest color. And then I was not in the public eye. Which should be a little bit, yeah, it's different than that. Okay. So we're just, at this point, obviously, this is not going to be a lot of detail. I think my husband let the cat out. Praise the Lord. I can't deal with just that one color. So that is, I just grabbed crinoline, which is a really warm white. And, we're not really going for realism here. So the yellow. I never go for realism, though. I'm going to have to get my really thin. Not you. This one. This brush right here is really long and skinny. So it's good for this kind of stray hairs. And I did bring a really, really like this yellow that I did is like a mustard yellow. So the other yellow that I have is like sunshine. Liquid sunshine is actually the name of it. So I don't know. Not sure yet. Not sure yet. I might have to go a little darker as far as you know, like I usually like to make hair darker at the roots. That's just how everybody's is. So yeah, this doesn't really I mean it doesn't have to be at this point. I'm just wanting to get kind of like a placeholder basically. Okay. Okay. There. I mean, that's a good start. I think that I really wanted to do some stencil stuff, but now that I've started with the eyeballs, might have to do that. Our queen is still sitting over here drying. Because I'm going to have to make some cuts around this, the hinges of the door. Oh, and I'm not sure, like, I have the glass here. So I may just, it has a place to put, like, basically you could do, you know, the other one's just like it. So you could do 4 pictures. But I'm thinking I'm going to go straight on the glass with Harlequin in this kind of brown, bronzy metallic color. It's called Truffle, I want to say. Yeah, Truffle Deluxe Paste. And so it has a nice shimmer. This is actually, I used this on the Vintage Bird journal too. So what do you want to see? Do you want to see me start the eyeballs or do some stenciling, or where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? I don't really like her looking blind. Hmm. So I am going to take this is just a deep chocolate brown color. I don't like that either. There we go. That's the color I'm wanting. I'm gonna probably have to do something with her mouth too. Like I feel like her mouth should be slightly parted in that kind of like a surprise. There. That kind of changes the look of her too, having that surprise on her face. There we go. Kind of. longer. Well, she's still kind of blind because she doesn't have pupils yet, but I hear my husband in there in the kitchen. I sure hope he's making me some dinner. Yeah, I'm probably going to also redo her mouth because, yeah, this is a rabbit hole. Speaking of Alice in Wonderland, this is a rabbit hole because, like, for her to look afraid or look scared, I feel like her eyebrows have to kind of be more up, and her mouth kind of, a little bit open. But, all right, we're going to let that be for now. We're going to let that be for now. Let that dry a little bit. I think that mixed media is good if you are an impatient person like myself. Because I can move on to doing something else while part of it is drying, And I'm going to push this back up a little bit and tilt it because I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. Get this out of it. I need to paint it anyway. But I'll probably do some Harlequin on the inside too. Oh, and also these drawers will fall out. Okay. Oops. There we go. Hey, hi there. I'm surprised that you're that you're done with your meeting thing. We've got the Red Queen on there, and we've got Alice has some hair, and now I've got to think about what size of the Harlequin I want to use. I'm thinking probably the smallest. So, and I'm probably not going to, I'm just going to let it kind of fade off. It's not going to be like a perfect thing. Doing this always makes me a little bit nervous because, you have to. The drawers, I will, the Creative Course Collab, Callie, that is, the journal course that you bought. You got the journal course, and that is what the Creative Course Collab is. Amanda and a bunch of artists. And the next thing coming out there is the fall class. It's Amanda. So I don't know. I was in the middle of saying something. I'm sure it was very important business. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go for it. I am going to kind of, because that is what was up at the edge is a little bit hard. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take this and kind of give her a smoosh. And then, yeah, I'm just going to go for it, guys. A little bit more. But as with everything that I do, I don't want it to be perfect. Okay, yay! And as I do more like waxes and different stuff, like that will even blend in more. Okay, let's do a little bit more. Oh, the drawers. Thanks, Callie. I thought I would just do some of this. I have those Alice in Wonderland molds. I don't know. Even if I have a plan, generally speaking, it doesn't usually end up that way. So I kind of try and just go with how I feel about it. I'm going to pull this towards me a little bit, guys, because I'm going to have to, make sure my stencil I don't want to ruin it, but while it's out, because this deluxe paste dries super hard. So yeah, this I will probably like paint over the top of and kind of, I don't want the Harlequin to be center stage necessarily. That makes sense. I want it to kind of be like a thought in the background. And of course I'll have to do this like on the top and on the sides and more places. Oh, you guys have kind of lost. Michelle never knows when to quit. Quit while you're ahead. Okay. But what I noticed with this deluxe paste, it's kind of fun just to, because it has that, it's really hard and it has that shine. But you could just taking like what's on here. I don't know, like you could do. I tried at one point on something, I can't remember now what it was, but I tried to like paint with it. That didn't work. I really need the WD-40, that drawer. But yeah, like I thought, I wonder if I can just stick my paintbrush in here and paint this. And I am using like press and seal over the top of that. Teresa said that it helps it last a little bit longer because once it gets hard, it cannot be reconstituted. And just like your makeup, art products do have a shelf life, even though if you're anything like me. Hey, Jane! Aw, thank you. Yep, Callie and I were actually talking about you about mixed media here just a second ago. Yeah, this stuff dries really hard. And so I don't want my stencil ruined. If at all possible, right? So yeah, we've got the Red Queen or the Queen of Hearts. I was surprised that you guys were done. And then I changed her eyeballs. She was looking that way, but with the Red Queen over here, I kind of want her like she's kind of running. So her hair going back and her kind of looking behind. That's the vision. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the end, right? Okay. So yeah, I have I think that there is a neutral Harlequin decoupage. Callie, back to your question about the drawers. But I'm thinking these will be, I think I just will paint these like a really dark, like the really, really dark brown that's on here. And I think that they will look like shadows. You know, like just the outline of them might be cool. And then I was also thinking that I would connect this just to one side, this little tea party thing. I don't know. You know how it goes. We'll see. Oh yeah, you might have those actually. They are a Prima product. And there are a lot of them, a lot of Alice stuff in the Prima world. I wonder if that's dry. That might be dry enough for me to try and do some eyeballs, some pupils. What time is it? Oh, I've been on for an hour. You know, I might. You do? Is it the ones with the tea party like I just showed? Like this? Because there was another one that I thought, ooh. Okay. There we go. All right, guys. So I'm thinking what I decided I was going to do is go live when my husband is live, you know, because we kind of keep missing each other. So he is live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I thought, well, I'll go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays too. So I may be back and finish her up on Thursday. It's going to be a project that takes a minute to, you know, get complete because like I said in the very beginning, I think with Alice, you can go all out. You can go as wild as you want and do as much as you want. Like I could even do some stripes instead of just doing the Harlequin and the stripes together. I don't know. It's pretty endless. So even if I continue to work on it, I won't be done by Thursday. So I might be back here on Thursday. And I think that's it for now. So I hope to see you guys then, and I appreciate y'all jumping on. And I'll see you later. Bye.